One warm summer day, in the clearing where Timmy and Jimmy live, an accident happened, which turned into a fascinating story. And which one we will find out together now. Timmy stood on the porch of his house and drank aromatic tea. On such a sunny day you can't sit at home, you need to think of something, Timmy thought. And suddenly he heard a familiar voice. Timmy, hello. It was Jimmy who shouted happily. I'm in a great mood today. And how are you? Jimmy said and ran to Tim. Hi, Jimmy. Timmy answered and waved his hand. I'm fine. I'm glad to see you. I was just wondering what to do on such a warm day. How about we play ball in the meadow or fly a kite? Jimmy suggested. Of course. I have a great red ball, Timmy answered, looking forward to a fun day. They headed towards the house when suddenly they heard a loud sound from the house, as if something had fallen. They quietly entered the house and saw an open window in the kitchen, and on the floor lay a broken flower pot that usually stood by the window. Oh, it was a flower pot that fell, Timmy said sadly. Maybe the wind knocked it down from the open window? Jimmy asked. Oh, where's the jam jar? Timmy asked quietly. What jar? What jam? Jimmy asked quietly in response. Raspberry jam? The jar was on the table, Timmy answered, still in a quiet voice. Look, it was standing here on the table, and now it's gone. Where could it have disappeared to? Timmy said in a quiet, surprised voice. Do you think someone stole it? Jimmy suggested. Yes, that's true. That's not good. We need to find whoever stole my jam jar. But how are we going to find them? Timmy answered thoughtfully. Look, Timmy. There are drops of jam on the floor, Jimmy exclaimed. Yes, the lid must have been poorly closed, and whoever took the jam was in a hurry, so he didn't notice, Timmy answered. I have an idea. You and I will follow the trail like detectives. The trail of raspberry jam. Look around more carefully, Jimmy exclaimed and clapped his hands. I see drops of jam on the grass. We found a trail like real detectives, Timmy said happily, and pointed his hand at the grass. They walk happily along the path, feeling that they are about to solve the mystery of the jar of raspberry jam. And suddenly they see a bucket lying on the path with milk pouring out of it. Jimmy, look. The path leads to a white house. I think I recognize this house, said Timmy. Of course, it's Martha's mother's house, Jimmy answered happily. And they walked happily along the path. Mama Marta, Miller, Malin. Good afternoon. The guys greeted everyone. Hello, guys. I'm so glad to see you. Come in quickly. My son wants to tell you something. He's very worried about what happened, said Mother Marta. She was kind and welcoming. Malin and Miller were sitting on the terrace, drinking tea, and on the table stood that very jar of raspberry jam. The brother looked at them with embarrassment. He was clearly ashamed. I gave my son a bucket of milk and asked him to go to Timmy and ask for a jar of raspberry jam, and in return give him a bucket of milk. But he is so clumsy, always in a hurry, said Mama Marta softly. Yes, I was in such a hurry that I fell and spilled the milk. Then I saw a jar of jam on your table and decided to take it and then bring a new bucket of milk. It was stupid, right? Malin said sadly. Don't scold your brother. He did it so that I would get better, faster. Mom said that raspberry jam would help. Today is my birthday, but I'm sick and there is no holiday, Milla said very sadly. We'll help save the birthday, Jimmy exclaimed. We'll throw a party, Timmy replied. They entered the house and after a while, happily, ran out onto the lawn in front of the house. Jimmy walked with colorful balloons in his hands. Spinning, he handed them to Milla. On this sunny day, on your holiday, we give you all these beautiful balloons. Be healthy and always cheerful. Timmy walked with a large bouquet of flowers in his hands. Jumping and dancing, he handed the flowers to Milla. Happy birthday! We give you all the flowers of this meadow so that you always smile. Thank you very much, guys. I'm so happy. Today is a wonderful, sunny and joyful day for me, Milla answered and clapped her hands. Malin took the balloons and ran across the clearing, laughing loudly, jumping on one leg, tumbling and making faces. Beautiful butterflies fluttered around him. Everyone was having fun. Jimmy was doing magic tricks. He was juggling small, colorful balls. There was a festive atmosphere around. Birds were singing merrily and flying over the meadow. Timmy rode a bike and showed interesting tricks. Sometimes he rode holding the steering wheel with one hand. When he rode in a circle, butterflies flew behind him. It was very beautiful and fun. Mama Marta danced among the balloons, flowers and butterflies. She was grateful to the children for this wonderful holiday. It's time to bring out the cake and blow out the candles, she said happily. Thank you all for a wonderful holiday, Milla said quietly. Make a wish, the children answered in chorus. Milla closed her eyes, then blew out the candles, and everyone clapped their hands joyfully. Timmy and Jimmy drank tea and cake with pleasure. Then they congratulated Milla on her birthday once again. Malin gave them a bucket of milk. Having said goodbye to everyone, they hurried home. This is how it sometimes happens. You think one thing, but in reality, everything is different. Friends were looking for lost jam, but found joy in helping to save a girl's birthday.
Night has come, the moon is shining, brought new dreams. The bear cub sleeps in a den, seeing a jar of honey in a dream. Hush, hush, it's time to sleep, baby. Close your eyes and you will see a world full of fantasies. Hush, hush, close your eyes, my baby. The moonlight illuminates the clearing where the hedgehog curled up in a fluffy ball. The fox